What I'm going to do right now is mount these Dark Eldar Incubi, these last couple guys, onto a little basing stick that I have here, so that the base coating will go real smooth, something I can hold on to and move them around with real easily. I'm just using some sticky tack. I got lots of this stuff. I bought it at the dollar store. I'm using just a little pile on each foot, and it's okay if it covers up the foot a little bit, because these guys are going to get glued onto bases, and there's still a lot of steps before any of this matters. Kind of space them out so that when we do the base coating, it'll be easy to get to all the models, get a nice even base coat. I'm going to do these guys gray just like the rest of the Dark Eldar foot troops. I'm basically using gray because after the highlights and the other little details that I do and get some ink on them, it makes the armor look really dark, and the highlighting process is pretty easy. It's almost like it's black armor, but don't have to paint anything black, so it's real easy. Just a little bit of sticky tack, stick them to this piece of balsa wood. No, it's not balsa wood, whatever it is. Got that at the dollar store also, little bags of them. And then got a set of these for each one of these guys, so it's little backpack attachments and a head. And those I'll just put into the bottom of a box, and I'll do their back first, and then flip them over and do the fronts, so that if there's any runoff or anything, it'll be easy to polish it or cover it up or fix it on the back there. And I got a couple of heads on some of the backpack pieces. Just being real clean here, cleaning everything up real good as I put it on. These little parts, since I base coated them, I'll give them a little bit of just a little tiny scrape on the sandpaper, help them stick. Don't want to do too much. Pewter seems to be a little bit harder than it used to be. I'm not sure, maybe it's their formula or whatever, but you don't want to make any little burrs so that it won't go into the back. And I've cleaned up the backs here really well, so just kind of little dry fit first, see how they look. Look pretty good. I've already cleaned this one up. Got them put together, got them base coated. What I'm going to do at this point, the next little step here, is I'm just going to take some Codex Gray, which is slightly lighter than the uniform gray. And I'm going to go through each one of these guys. I've already done a couple of them. And especially because they're pewter. Probably wouldn't, on the gray plastic models, I haven't been doing this step, haven't had to worry about it. But on the pewter, it's definitely extremely important. So what I'm doing is I'm just going in here and hitting places where the base coat didn't really get in there really great. And from the other Dark Eldar series, basically a lot of this ends up inked. So especially the metal pewter part, can't have any of that showing. And then I got some Skull White here for the white parts. And I'm really just putting a really light layer on there. I got a wet palette that I'm working with. Part of my wet palette I kind of keep a little bit wetter than the other part. About 1/3 of my wet palette's kind of wet compared to the rest of the wet palette, so that I can do particularly this sort of thing and make sure to water my paints down just a little bit. And the white's a lot better. It went on. It needs a lot less in here. I kind of cover up the spots where the glue, beat it up just a little bit. That's going to help with the ink, because ink doesn't like the texture of the glue. I did really well on these guys, so they don't need nearly as much white as they do gray. So there you go. Got everything ready at this point to glue these guys onto their bases. Got a couple of them done already. Just kind of checking this out here. Looks pretty good. I'm just using a lot of glue. After I paint the guys and then do a little bit of weathering on their legs, then I got some nice static grass, so I'll put on the bases. And basically at that point that'll hide any of the glue marks or anything else on the bases that doesn't really seem to be turning out really great visually. And the static grass sticking up, it's a little bit yellow, it's burnt grass, whatever, it's kind of brown and yellow and green. It'll add pretty much the final texture. I also got some little trophies and skulls and helmets and things like that go pretty good on Dark Eldar Army. But those will go on very last. I don't want to overwhelm any of the bases. And as you can see, I don't really know which bases are which yet as far as the army goes. When I make them. So those will just kind of get incorporated into the grass and around the grass and stuff. So here we go. I'm gonna start painting on these guys. This will be the end of part 1. If you haven't checked out the blog, please check it out. shotdownmind.blogspot.com. If you're not a member of 40K Nation, go to 40knation.com, become a member. Thanks for watching, everyone.